Hi there, boomers, baby boomers, and interested others. Thank you so much for joining me today as we go to part 2 of being in the garden. At first, I showed you one big rectangle and showed you how to amend the soil. And today I was at it again for the past 3 hours here in the suburbs. You're going to hear the background noise. My neighbors have 8 children. We just do what we can do until I can get better equipment. But also, this is the 7th day of my premiering my first video. And the ones of you who have been here are very kind to come back and like, and someone says they're having problems with the like button. But yesterday I did that awesome video on the beautiful, lovely, and extremely capable Yvonne, who is an over-the-road truck driver, 18-wheelers for 20 years. If you haven't seen it, please go back and look at that and share some comments to her to keep her encouraged at 65 years old. What can I say? And so let's move on and see what's going on with the garden, and stay till the end because I have some pictures for you. Remember, I'm learning. Thank you. Come grow with me. It's February. We've got to do it. Get that pot out, get that plot taken care of, or even if you have a big garden, see what I'm doing. You may get some hints. Thank you so much. And remember, I love you. Hello, boomers. How are you today? I hope you're having a great day. It's the beginning of February, and hey, here I am. We're going to go ahead and get our garden, continue to do the work that we have to do. Now, this was what happened when I did that for your other video, showed you what had to be done. Then, of course, we're going to get some more dirt in. We're going to get it into the area here and get the soil amended. So hopefully I'll speed this up so it won't be so dull. But here we go. This is some Latter-day Saints Prepper Premium micronutrient mix that I'm going to put in the soil as well. I started doing this about 10 years ago. If you've ever seen the LDS Latter-day Saints video on growing food, and it really was effective on my garden. And I think this is about half a packet, and I'm going to mix the whole packet up in here. Mix it up a little bit. Because this is just regular dirt. And oh well, why not? Some vegetable and tomato. I mean, I'm not measuring. I just know, if it's too much, the plant will just throw away what it doesn't need. Ha ha ha. So this will give me a good start. Now this area did not have as many weeds or roots, because I had not put anything in this one. I just, these are just small ones, and I'm going to go ahead and get it on up and rake it in and then hoe it in. But this one really is not a huge problem. I'm just amending the soil. And of course, in my dreams, I'm getting a microphone. So, getting all this down. And I'm continuing to get it moved in here. I don't want to do too much over here because this is where my asparagus plant happens to be. And for some reason or another, anytime the neighborhood kept leaving me some urea, but I just mixed it on in and then put some things up there to discourage it, like cat deterrents. Tomato cage is over. Wear your gloves. Wear your boots. Now, even if your area is not as big as mine, because really this is a big garden, you can still do the same kind of a thing if you have one of those little rectangular ones there. Just get the soil ready. Any of this is good to compost the ground. And just keep at it. There we go. Where it's going. All this root system has to come out because it will interfere with the growth of your other plants. But as I said before, this will have a lot to do with how well your garden does. I'm getting ready to pull these stakes up. You can see I had these staked down in the ground like a cat deterrent. It doesn't hurt the cats, it just kind of keeps them from bothering in there in the garden. And I stake them down with these long stakes that I got from Temu, and they're supposed not to rust as quickly as other garden stakes. Okay. Now boomers, baby boomers and others, if I can get out here, you can get a little bit of food going. I think you're going to be surprised as you follow me. This is 2024 and it's the second day of February. You can do it. So I tried to move you guys a little faster so you wouldn't have to get bored watching this entire one. But boy, oh boy, was this some work today. I stayed out at least 3 hours today and tried to get everything completed on that garden level there, those 2 levels. So I was pulling roots and working on getting everything together and amending the soil some. So this is only part 2. You can see I'm pulling the roots up and trying to get all of the leaves that I can out, even though it's not a huge problem. Some of the leaves were pretty thick. And so I went on and on. Thanks for continuing to watch. It just lets you know it's getting done. So maybe if we had the bucket will actually have on it Most of the buckets you get from Home Depot, food grade, which means you can plant in these buckets. So let's take a few minutes there, just so we can check and see how it's doing. And once we go down, when I say down, I mean down on the lower level of this garden. See, my composting is here. But the magic behind composting is not to put any milk or any meat products in your compost pile. And you can look online to see what you should add to your compost pile, but definitely no dairy, no meat. And here we go. As you can see, I haven't opened it in a minute, but this one is mostly my wet one, and that's my mostly dry one. But we'll see how it looks. Oh boy, the compost looks really good. And I'm going to add some of this. This is mostly leaves, my garbage from my household. You can use eggshells, but when you use eggshells, you don't put them in there without rinsing them off. And this looks really rich and really ready for planting. So, yay. The compost looks great. Actually, some stuff is growing in here, as you can see, because you have to turn it regularly. Looks like onions, but you have to turn it regularly. And I'll go down into the deep part of it and get that compost going. So this is how all of this looks. And you just take your time, boomers. Rome wasn't built in a day. Just lay a few bricks, okay? That's all. Do the best you can. And we'll just keep on moving with this. And I'll be back with pictures of how I amended everything at the end of the video. Let's take a closer look and see how that looks. That's so much better. And there's the root right there, and I left some leaves. But all in all, it's looking good. And I'm real proud of the work to